Let me tell you something nobody really warned me about. Being gay at 50 can feel lonely. Not just alone on a Saturday night, lonely. I mean, the kind of loneliness where your phone doesn't buzz the way it used to, where your group chats go quiet, and the only notifications you get are from the delivery app reminding you about a discount on pizza. And sure, I can laugh about it now, but it's a real thing. Gay men at 50 are less talked about, less visible, and often less included. But don't worry, this isn't just a sad monologue. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the funny of it all. Why it sometimes sucks, what the research says, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it. Let's start with loneliness, because that's the elephant in the room. Studies show LGBTQ+ older adults are twice as likely to live alone and have smaller support networks than their straight peers. Why? Because straight guys at 50 usually have family structures, kids who roll their eyes at them, spouses who nag them, in-laws who annoy them. Built-in chaos equals built-in company. Gay men, we don't always have those ready-made social anchors. Our chosen families, the friends who kept us afloat in our 20s and 30s, sometimes drift apart. Some moved away, some started families of their own, some simply grew in different directions. And suddenly you wake up and realize you're the last one still scrolling Grindr at midnight, hoping someone within 5 miles is both awake and your type. Spoiler, they're usually neither. Loneliness doesn't mean you're unloved. It just means the way you built your life, clubs, parties, fast connections, may not fit this stage anymore. And that shift, that silence, that's what hurts most. Now, let's move to the mirror, everyone's favorite enemy. At 50, your body changes. Wrinkles pop up like surprise guests. Your metabolism files for early retirement. That six-pack you once had, it now comes with a permanent cover charge called a belly. And here's the kicker. Straight men at 50 get called distinguished, mature, silver fox. People celebrate their grey hair like it's a trophy. Geet men helschild. We get judged by a brutal standard. If you don't look like you're 30 with Botox and a protein shake, people act like your expiration date already passed. It's unfair and honestly exhausting. But here's a twist. Outside the gay bubble, most people do think we look amazing. We're often in better shape, better dressed, and more stylish than our straight counterparts. But inside the gay community, it's a comparison game against 22-year-olds who still live on instant noodles and Red Bull, yet somehow have flawless skin. And let me tell you, moisturizer bills at 50, they're basically rent. And then there's the generational gap. Younger gays often see you in two ways, daddy material or invisible, nothing in between. Some of them genuinely respect older gay men. They know we paved the way, survived harsher times, maybe even lived through the AIDS crisis. But others? They don't get it. They grew up with rainbow emojis and queer characters on Netflix. You grew up hiding, surviving, and often fighting for your right to exist. To them, that's just old history. To you, it was life. So when you walk into a gay bar at 50, you're not just a customer. You're living proof that time doesn't stop. You're a reminder that they too will age. And that reminder, it makes people uncomfortable. I once walked into a club and someone actually said, "Wow, I didn't know dads came here." I said, "Sweetie, I was dancing in this club before you were even born. Generational burn, free of charge." All right, let's answer the awkward but honest question. Do gay men at 50 still want sex? Or does desire fade away with your hairline? Research says, no, desire does not just vanish. In fact, men gay and straight remain sexually active well into their 50s, 60s, even 70s. Yes, testosterone levels dip. Erections take longer. Stamina changes. But the brain, the largest sex organ, doesn't switch off. Here's what studies also say. Gay men tend to report a higher interest in sex as they age compared to straight men of the same age. Maybe it's cultural, maybe it's freedom, but the desire is still there. The difference? Straight men at 50 are often in long-term marriages where routine dulls the frequency. Gay men at 50? Still in a community where sexual activity is tied to relevance, desirability, and identity. So the pressure feels heavier. Funny truth? At 50, sex doesn't stop. It just comes with more preparation, stretching, lube, maybe a multivitamin, and sometimes a nap halfway through. That's not failure. That's strategy. Now, let's compare again. Straight men at 50 are often celebrated. They're allowed to age. They're called silver foxes, and people swoon over them. Gay men at 50? We're judged if we don't look frozen in time. George Clooney? Hot. Anderson Cooper? Hot. But your average gay accountant at 50? He doesn't get the same respect. The hypocrisy is wild. Straight men are allowed to age gracefully. Gay men are told to age invisibly. That's why so many feel pressured to hide their age online or shave off 10 years on their dating profile. By the way, if you're 50 and your grinder says you're 39, we know, everyone knows. So, what's the solution? How do you survive being gay at 50 without losing your mind? Here are a few things I've learned, and they might just help you too. 1. Stop competing with your younger self. You're not 25 anymore, and that's okay. What you have now, experience, wisdom, resilience, is something those abs can't buy. 2. Redefine your social life. The club scene isn't built for you anymore, but that doesn't mean life is over. Volunteer, pick up hobbies, join queer community groups. Some of the best friendships and even relationships happen outside of bars. 3. Take care of your body for you. Exercise, eat better, rest more. Not to look like a model, but to feel strong in your own skin. 4. Don't chase validation, chase connection. One deep, honest relationship will outlast 100 likes or flame emojis. 5. Embrace your role, but on your terms. Yes, younger gays may see you as the mentor, the uncle, the daddy. It can be annoying, but it's also powerful. You're living history. You've survived things they can't imagine. That makes you valuable, even if they don't always say it out loud. And here's a secret. There are people, younger and older, who find maturity, confidence, and life experience incredibly attractive. So if you lean into who you are instead of who you were, you might be surprised at the attention you get. So, does being gay at 50 suck? Sometimes, yes. It's lonely, it's unfair. It comes with body changes, social invisibility, and weird double standards. But it's also not the end of the road. It's a new chapter, one where you get to write your own rules rather than chase everyone else's. Because being gay doesn't expire at 50. It evolves. If you're in your 50s already, I'd love to hear your experience, what's been the hardest part, and what's been surprisingly good. And if you're younger, remember this, you'll be here one day too. So let's build a community that doesn't worship just the shiny years, but celebrates every age. Thanks for watching. And remember, wisdom ages better than six packs.